All right, we're here in the good old Crystal River. Woo! With none other than, do you want to go by the one that starts with an M or the one that starts with an A?
I don't know.
Or both.
Or both, yeah.
Mylon Austin Adkins.
Yep.
How's it going?
It is going. Just
It's
out here.
going.
A little overcast today, but
It's still
nothing
beautiful.
we haven't seen before. It's gorgeous.
It's still beautiful. We're at, where are we?
We're at Hunter Springs
Hunter
right
Springs.
now. Paddling over to, I think, Jurassic. That's where we want to go.
Yep.
Visit a couple springs out here. Some of the clearest water in Hunter Springs.
Yeah, this is sick. It's like a little county or city park that you can come and paddle, or you can just go swimming, and it's like a beautiful spring that you can enjoy and swim in. And sometimes manatees come hang out around here. Actually, a lot of times manatees come hang out around here.
Yeah, you can hop in right at the beach access at the park, and there's sometimes manatees just chilling. So
That's so cool.
quick and easy way to swim with them.
Yeah,
if they're in here.
It's so sick back here, and there's like 3 other springs right in this little area to visit too. So if you do have a kayak, you know, like we do right now, thankfully,
Yes.
we get to go check out Jurassic and House Spring and a mullet that just jumped.
Sometimes dolphin
Sometimes dolphin
come
back
in here to feed.
This is cool, and yeah, it's not the best day out today. The overcast is making the water not, you know, as bright blue as maybe you've seen on the internet, right, or some of our videos and photos. But you never know what you're gonna get until you're out here. We have seen a few manatees today already, which is cool.
Oh yes, and a calf.
Yep,
Cutie.
little calf. And how long has it been now since you've been out here? 7 coming up. This would be your 7th year, right?
Yes.
Coming up on your 7?
Yep, 2018. I think it was October 5th.
Yeah,
First tour on the water in 2018.
2018. Dude, that is actually crazy when you think about how long it's already been.
I know.
You know, like, how has it already been over 6 years since you've been out here?
Well, I
And-
got some grays.
Me
So
too.
That's
Me
a big,
too.
yeah.
And Austin was the first clear kayak company out here, right? There wasn't anyone
Yep.
else at the time. As we've seen with many locations, there's a lot of clear kayak operators around now, which is cool. We're all for the love of nature, and as long as people are doing the right things, it's all good. But it's cool that Austin was the first one out here, and
Yes.
it's been here for, you know, over 6 years now. It's impressive, dude. Not a lot of businesses make it past year 2 and year 3. Thankfully, Get Up and Go is a little different story. All of us
Yes.
have, but
We're on a good trajectory.
Yeah,
we still are, which is awesome.
yeah. So, what's changed since 6 years ago out here? What hasn't changed?
Yeah, a lot has changed. I think you know, a lot more businesses out here.
Yeah.
All good things with that. But we've had a lot of changes in the weather, which has caused a lot of significant, I guess, damage across Crystal River.
Yeah.
Like right here, right now, you could see that house has a window kind of blown out.
Oh yeah.
A lot
Holy
of
crap.
Yeah. We had a big hurricane in September, pretty
Yeah.
sure it was. It was the back-to-back. And it was pretty devastating for a lot of people. There was flooding, and a lot of people had to essentially gut their house, like take all the drywall out, up to like 4 to 6 feet. And so yeah, a lot of environmental things. We had the Springs shoreline restoration project that was going on last year.
Yep.
And that's been a really great thing for the ecosystem out here. But the springs were shut down for all of last season, I think.
Yeah.
Or not last season, the season before.
Season
so
before.
it'd be, was that 2023?
Yeah. I mean, every time, we were just talking to the construction out here, every time we're out here, there's like some construction going on or project or
Yeah.
which is cool because it does mean that they're actually like doing things to better the infrastructure or,
Yeah.
you know, all of that's around here. Like Crystal River is the manatee capital of
The world.
the world.
Yeah.
I was going to say Florida, but
No, it's,
yeah, it's much bigger than Florida. So
oh yeah. With thousands that come in
It's-
during season.
it's pretty crazy when you see the amount of people that come out here to like swim with the manatees, kayak with the manatees, go on boats with the manatees.
Mm-hmm.
Why are manatees such a big draw?
Honestly, I think they're just such a cool animal. They're docile, they're not aggressive. A lot of people, you can swim with them, and the only time they kind of move quickly is if you kind of wake them up while they're sleeping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're just the most lovable creatures of all.
And they're huge.
Yeah, they're like they're big like teddy bears, but they're not bears. But it's the same thing.
They're massive.
Yeah,
They're massive.
I kind of want to just like hang out with one and you know, float with them, because they'll just come right up to you, and they're very curious as well.
Yeah.
So their breath does smell, I will say, but other than that, there's really nothing bad to say about them. They're just so gentle and
they're so cool.
I
I think people are drawn to their size and their gentleness.
yeah.
Usually bigger things like that aren't gentle like that,
Yes,
you know?
exactly, and heavy. They can get up like 3,500 pounds.
Yeah.
and 12 feet long or more.
Yeah. Yeah, and
insane.
so here, the reason that like Crystal River is so popular for the manatees is, can we go in this area? Or?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I think it's open. We just can't.
Yeah,
go back.
we just can't, we can't moor back here, which means we can't use an anchor.
Good thing we don't have one.
Yep. Part of the reason that the manatees love it here is because of all the different springs that are here.
Yes.
The water is 70, 72 degrees coming out of the springs, right? And
Yeah, year round.
Yep. And
There's over 70 springs in Crystal River.
holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only think of like the big named ones, right?
all
Oh, look
these
at all the
mullet.
mullet. Yeah, holy crap. You only think of like Three Sisters and Hunter Springs and maybe Jurassic and maybe House Springs, but
Yeah.
there's so many under the water that people just don't even know are there.
Mm-hmm.
And in the wintertime in Florida, when it's too cold out in the coastal
Gulf,
areas, the manatees can only survive in 68 degree water or more for a certain period of time. So when the water gets that cold, they have to come in here and find some warmer waters. And thankfully the spring puts out that 70, 72 degree water year round for them. So
Yes.
they freaking love it here. The manatees, how many manatees do you think at a time are like hanging out on maximum days here?
I would say like inside of Three Sisters, I think I heard a count the other day from one of our guides that there was over 500 inside of the springs, and that was when it was
crazy.
like really
Hey,
cold.
guys.
Hey, how you doing? But it was super cold, and it's very vital for manatees' survival.
Yeah.
Having this area, and Crystal River is like one of the leading organizations. Like you have the National Wildlife Refuge who's involved, the Florida Wildlife
FWC.
Service. Yeah, you got obviously this springs. You've got manatees. Like I guess what I'm trying to say is
There's a lot of people out here trying to protect
a lot
the
of
manatees.
organizations.
Yeah.
That come and show up in a big way, and they plant a lot of grass for them to eat during the winter months so that they can have food. And but if they're out there in the ocean in those cold temperatures.
Say again? Dry bag? Oh,
Okay. Thank you.
thanks. Oh, perfect. Delivery.
Let's go.
Thanks.
Everyone's super nice out here.
I did forget my
great.
dry bag, and people are bringing them. Thanks, guys.
We love that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thanks.
Thank you. But yeah, they're it's kind of really sad, but they can get a lot of skin issues. It can start kind of boiling off if it's too cold. It's pretty wild.
Yep, it is. All right, we're coming up. I left my dry bag on the shoreline like an idiot, and someone is nice enough to deliver said dry bag out to us on the water. So this is amazing.
We've never met before.
This wasn't planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Did you go through his wallet?
Did you give yourself a tip out of the wallet or what?
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's so
Give
funny.
it back. She needs a tip.
What's down that? Is that just a canal?
Yeah, it's a canal. Sometimes there's manatees back there.
All right, let's check it out. We can go check it out.
Quiet little spot. There's no leaf blower going on. Right.
I know, right?
Hopefully back in there.
Yeah, it's cool. All these cormorants are just hanging out. It looks like maybe an anhinga up there too, but
Yep.
there's a baby. You see the little head poking
Oh, yeah,
out of
look
the.
at the cutie.
He's a
I
young
want to
one.
get a picture of that.
Yeah, that's cool. Little young cormorant just hanging out in this little tree island here,
Staring us down.
staring at us. It's pretty cool. Those birds are sick. I love seeing them swim through the water and chasing after fish underwater, and they're pretty cool.
It can kind of surprise you sometimes. Like when you get out, you see like just a bird underwater, and you're like, what in the world? They kind of resemble snakes too.
Yeah. Or their head will come out and you'll just see the head. Yeah.
That's
But
pretty
yeah, Crystal
awesome.
River is literally like the place to go if you're trying to see manatees. And obviously that's a huge reason that you wanted to start a location here.
Yeah.
But I think what's even cooler is kind of the backstory before that, before 2018, was 2017, and even before that. We've known each other since, I don't know, probably 2015 or 2016 maybe.
It probably
So
even
it's been about
before.
10 years.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, we got the blower.
You got it.
The good thing is I don't think the mics will pick it up too much,
Let's go.
but we might get hit in the
Oh,
face.
we might. We might do it.
We might get
Take a
hit in
deep
the
breath.
face by some shavings here coming off. That's so funny. Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah,
Little tornado going on.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Hey.
So yeah, it had to have been at least 10 years ago now, which is awesome. But
Yeah.
well, first I knew you when I was working at the Golf Channel,
Yep.
and then someone got a job at the Golf Channel.
Someone started working with Justin at the Golf Channel, just different department.
Yep. And then this was also the time that I was just starting at Rock Springs, really, back in 2016. And you kind of knew that was going on, and I know you were looking for work and whatever, and so I don't even remember how that went. Do you remember like how it came that you were my tour guide? I don't.
Yes. So it's kind of funny. So let me start here. We got Golf Channel, and then I stopped working there, and then I went back to my old job.
That's
and I
right.
actually I'm really bad with dates in my older
It probably would have been 2017. What is this in the water? It might have been a
turtle.
It might have been a turtle. Yeah. This would have been 2016 or 2017.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, true. And then so
9 years ago.
I worked it, and then I got a
turtle
job.
right here.
Oh yeah. Look at
Hi, buddy.
I like how it clears up back in these canals too.
Yeah.
It's really sweet. But yeah, I worked, and then I quickly kind of realized that corporate might not be my strong suit. Didn't match my personality that well. So
Do you not like the structure of the 9 to 5? Do you not like the hierarchy of, you know, having managers that have managers that have managers?
Yeah.
What don't you like about it? Because I'm the same way, but there's a lot of different reasons maybe.
Yeah, I think it was, there's a lot of factors at play, but the jobs I had were an hour away from me. So that was a big one.
That
was like
doesn't help.
stuck in traffic. And so that didn't help, but I also am like in a lot of ways, an instant gratification kind of guy.
Yep.
So it's like, I want things done quick, and I just want to like kind of really work hard real fast and
Move at your
start-
speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just wanted that, but in my, like, as I get older and as now being a business owner for this long, I do appreciate a lot of the structures and systems and stuff of corporate life. And my wife is actually really involved in a company. It's, oh yeah, they'll fall off the docks all the time. I see him jump off of those.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I just was never a really big fan, and I got to be passionate about something that I do. So that was probably the biggest thing. I just didn't find a passion in that lifestyle. But yeah, so I did that, and then I had this dream of being a tour manager for bands, but
Which you've done.
which I have. Well, not necessarily. I kind of learned from our friends, but
Yeah, to an extent you've done it, which is cool.
yeah, been to Europe twice
Yeah.
with our friends who are in bands and whatnot, which has been fun. But yeah, so it all started when I worked at LA Film School, and I was like that was the corporate job, one of the corporate jobs I had, and it was that just got really mundane, and I was like, I want something exciting, and I want to stretch myself and all that. So we did that, and then my twin brother worked for you.
That's right.
Yes.
Did I hire him first?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
my brother would call me all the time, and he'd be like, "Bro, you're messing up. You got to come out here, dude. It's awesome." And
Yeah.
you got kind of like create your own schedule, and you get to meet a lot of good people. And naturally like a people person. I love
There's a lot
love
of
people.
bubbles coming up right there.
Yeah, it could be something.
I didn't see what it was under, but
Back.
that's so funny. I forgot that Hunter was first.
Yep.
And you were second. So I wonder how the conversation with Hunter started, because I think it was just I needed people to do tours at one point because I was just getting too busy doing tours and the phones were ringing and I needed tour guides. And
I think he was actually your second guide.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was right after Alex. Yeah,
was first. Yeah, and then but he would just tell me, he's like, man, you get to meet all these awesome people, and I served tables for 5 years through college, and so it's definitely like it's kind of like that. Yeah.
It's serving the people that you're with. It's very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just kind of want to and nobody comes out here like expecting to have a bad time. It's a thing you do on vacation. So it's one of those, like the energy was high, and so I started, and I got locked in for, I think I worked with you for about 8 months or something.
Yeah.
And then I left to do the Europe tour, and then I think 3 days after I got back, I got into a car accident. So, and that was a month to the day before my wedding. So I was like, okay, got to figure something out.
Change of plans.
Yeah. And
holy crap.
I didn't follow that path anymore, but which I guess brought me to the franchise.
Yeah. I do remember having a lot of conversations with you about franchising, and we were going back and forth, and I was new at it, so like I didn't, we were learning together about it, and I remember your grandpa was a big part of it too, right? Like
he tried to be.
He really wanted to invest in you and the business, which I thought was really cool. And I always remember talking to you, and then you were like, well, I got to talk to my grandpa, and run it by him and get his thoughts. And so,
ultimately he never had a hand in it. So it was, he ultimately didn't invest, which is awesome to have, like for me to be able to do that on my own. But yeah, he had a lot of knowledge. He's owned a lot of businesses and stuff like that. But at 90, I think at the time he was like, 92 or something. So a little, it was not applicable, some of the things that he was saying. He was thinking about, like, he owned restaurants and he was in the Navy, he was in World War II, like this kind of different mindset. But he was really encouraging to me and kind of helped me just understand what it's like to own businesses and whatnot. But
I thought it was cool because, like, I think that also just goes into who you are a little bit too, is like you're all about your family, even though he didn't become a part of it, like you're still talking to him, bouncing ideas off of him back then, and working through it, and the contract to become a franchisee is like 100 pages long. So even to have someone to bounce those ideas off of and not just be in your own head and being like, well, I've got all these questions, like, who do I ask? That's not the person that's selling me the thing. Yeah. And so I think that part of it is really cool. And obviously Madison was probably a big part of that too. And
and my parents and all, and you were too. And like, there was never I'd like to thank you, because you never were pushy at all about anything. And it was like, we just want to succeed together and like kind of grow this and see what happens. And very seamless, easy onboarding, I would say.
Yeah, it was cool because you were a tour guide, so you already knew how to do 80% of the business, right? It's like you already knew how to do everything with the customers. You already knew how to give the tours. So if you want to start it up and give the tours yourself, which I think you did a lot at the beginning anyways, like you could do that. So it was an easy transition, which made it nice for me too, because that's a whole part of training is like, okay, not only are you going to own a business, but how do you actually do the business that is happening every day? And you had 8 months of experience doing it and getting the reviews, and you already knew that side of it, which is definitely helpful. Yes, definitely helpful going into it. So it was cool, man. So you were the first official franchisee of mine, which is pretty crazy. And I remember starting out, I was like, Austin, if anyone else wants to become a franchisee, you need to help me sell this to them, because like you're the first, and you're gonna see how everything goes from start to finish, and so this was cool. It's what's cool about Crystal River and this whole thing happening was like this was the first franchised location, outside of what we already had, which is Rock Springs, Titusville, and we were doing a little winter park stuff, and it was cool to see how fast this like worked for you, because in my first 2 years at Rock Springs, I think I've like publicly said that year one I made like $12,000 or 7,000 or 9,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like overall, that wasn't like my profit. That was like how much money we made. And then year two was like $20,000. So
yeah,
to see how quickly you got going with things here, and I think that also talks to just how good you were at the beginning of everything and following the process and understanding it and coming out here and shooting content and doing all of the things that you need to do. You know, it was really cool for me to watch like someone else do the thing that I do every day, you know, like, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like this could work now in more than just two places.
Oh yeah.
So it was cool.
I think it was like my biggest thing that I had on the list of accomplishments was honestly in just pay back like the initial investment.
Yeah.
And I think I want to say it was within 3 months total, it was fully paid off.
That's crazy.
And which was so incredible, like and insane. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that it would, that I would be like ending up here and stay with it for so long.
Yeah.
But it's been just super fruitful and
so
fun,
cool.
and just it's all about guests and having a good time and getting them to show them the ecosystem out here and the beauty, and just quiet down a little bit from the parks and escape, you know, to some serenity.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, wild onboarding, and I had no idea what I was doing as well. Like I went to school for business, but it's totally different once you're in it. And I think that this was just such an easy transition and a great opportunity that's been very successful. So
it's cool, and we're learning all the time new things anyways too. Like you know, I've been telling everyone internally, like, you know, hey, change just means growth. Like change is a good thing. It means that like we're trying to do things differently so that we can figure out what works best, and then we can go that route, you know. And I think a lot of people are hesitant to change, and to some extent, like constant change is not ideal. But I do think that it's cool because you guys all give me feedback on what you like or don't like, and then we can adjust and change things. And maybe in the corporate world, that would take a lot longer to do, you know? You can't just say, okay, we're gonna change our processes today and then tomorrow they're different, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's an interesting part of my job is to like navigate wanting to always like be on top of the latest trends and the latest AI and the latest social media and but also not just bombarding everyone with, hey, today we're gonna do this way, and tomorrow it's gonna change again.
Changing everything.
Yeah, so it's always a delicate balance, and I know that's one thing of being a business owner is that you just have to go into it knowing that things are gonna change so often, you know.
And if being the first and now, it's like there's been so many changes, but it's been all good changes, and you learn along the way. Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah, so it's been fun, man. It's cool to see what you've done out here. Like even just as we paddled past your tour guide earlier, it's just so cool that like, I don't know, that this is happening here, and it's from a little idea that I once, you know, had with Tia when we were like getting turned around at a state park, and what it's turned into, and what you've grown here is pretty substantial, and it's really, really cool to see from afar, and obviously from a friend too. I'm like, damn, I love seeing Austin just crushing it over here in Crystal River. So
no, I appreciate it, man. It's
so cool.
It's wild, dude, and it's so fun. And I grew up on this river too, so like, it's cool to see it. When I was looking for locations, I was like, where am I gonna go? Yeah. What am I gonna do? And we had some friends that lived on one of the canals on Crystal River. And we would come out here and go swim in the springs at sunset, you know, like all that kind of stuff. And I was like, of course, it's got to be Crystal River. It's like, it holds a dear place in my heart. My parents are both from Citrus County as well. Yep. So just really cool. And I actually had a massive fear of manatees when I started the business before. Yeah, so I was a kid, and I actually went out with my Uncle Jeff and my cousin Mark and my brother Hunter, and we went to, I want to say it was the Chaz. I was like young. I don't quite remember fully, but it's in my mind it's the Chaz, which is also cool because the other location is the Chaz. But this manatee started coming to the surface under our canoe, and I freaked. I was like, oh my God,
what do I do?
I was so young too, and I was freaking out. But come to find out, they're actually the most gentle, most sweet, beautiful animals of all time. Yeah,
he's not gonna attack.
No, they're amazing. So it's just insane how now it's some coworkers.
Part of the daily.
Yeah.
Part of the daily.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so crazy. It's so cool to see where it's all came. And you moved to Nashville in the middle of all of this too. So
Dude, yeah.
how was that like? Like, what is that like as as a business owner that has a business here, but you have to live somewhere else? And how has that worked out?
Yeah, it's good. It was nice when I started because I had just gotten married in 2018. Started the business in 2018, like 2 months
what a year.
later. Yeah, it was
car
insane.
crash,
we moved to Tennessee. Yeah, car crash, marriage, or wedding rather, and then
you were in Europe that year too.
Yeah. Europe, twice too because of the honeymoon. And I was like, what are we doing? And but all in all, it was a lot off the jump, or a lot from the jump. But first year of my marriage, I was gone a total of like 7 months.
Wow.
In that whole year. But Madison is a saint, and we didn't have any children or anything like that, and we were young and ambitious, and so
it's like now's the time to do it if we're gonna do it.
Yeah. And all of our family lives here too, which is nice. So when I come down, I'll stay with the in-laws, or
cool.
Sometimes I'll stay in town. But it's nice because it's a good reason to come back. But yeah, it was a lot of growing pains, learning. Like freaking out, I don't know. I guided a lot, and a funny part is Hunter actually worked for me as I think my first tour guide.
Yeah.
So, and then I got to employ some of my friends, whom I'm still really good friends with.
Yeah.
And met new friends that have worked for us before. So.
Yeah, and Taylor. I think that's a pretty cool story too. She's our Wiki Watchy franchisee with her husband, Danny, and they also actually now own like 3 other locations too. So
they're incredible.
They started out here though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep, she worked with me.
That's so crazy.
And her sister Alexis worked with me as well.
Yeah, and who's also a franchisee up in Destin now.
Yep.
So you're really just the funnel for me, right here. This
come
is
on, dude.
This is it.
You got to do something.
This is it.
Yeah, no, they have such a passion too, and they're incredible. They taught me a lot. They continue to teach me, and I'm excited too because I think Taylor and Danny are going to the meeting tomorrow, so I'll get to see them. And
we haven't seen any over here. There was some over at Three Sisters, but but none over here right now.
The water's pretty though.
Yeah.
It's starting to look a little nicer.
Yeah.
The sun's coming out.
Yeah. So yeah, Taylor, how long did she work here before she ended up becoming a franchisee? It had to be at least a year, right?
Yeah, I think it was around a year. She worked here for quite a while, and she was one of our best ever.
Dude, I remember when I was kind of like interviewing her, not really interviewing her, but just kind of asking her questions about, becoming a franchisee. And I remember talking to you about her, and then I would like go look at your reviews, and I'm just seeing Taylor. And I'm just like, Jesus, she knows what she's doing. And it's very similar to you in that like, you already knew the tour side of it when you started the franchise, which just makes it easier,
Yeah. Taylor definitely is like a wellspring of knowledge. She's a guardian guide. She's a Florida naturalist.
She's everything you can be.
Yeah, it's insane. So like, learning from her too, and just she's always had such a massive passion behind it, and like it's evident when you're on a tour with her. But she was incredible.
Yeah.
I was hoping you wouldn't confirm her for her own location so she could stay with me.
Just stuck here forever.
Yeah. And her sister worked with me too.
Yeah.
Before they both became like owners.
Yep.
And also another just absolute brilliant mind.
Yeah. Alexis is so smart. She's getting her
Yes.
master's right now up at UF too, which is really cool. So
yes,
they're so intelligent, and they've been just such good franchisees, and that means you made really good hires along the way too. So
I've had good ones and bad ones.
Yeah, I think we all
good.
have. I think that's one of my struggles always is like, you don't really know how people are going to be until they actually get doing the thing.
Yeah.
And I wish I would be better at gauging that sooner, I don't like earlier in the interview process, or that part's always been kind of interesting for me in running my own 2 locations is you never know until like you're always like, I think this person's going to be great. And then they're doing things that you're like, what?
Oh yeah.
Like what?
We don't do that.
Yeah. Like what's happening here?
Yeah.
And it just happens, that's, I think what one of the toughest parts about our jobs is hiring and finding the right people for this job. And the good thing is, like, there's usually a good demand for this job because you get to be outdoors, you get to hang out with manatees, you get to be in spring water, you get to be in these really cool places showing people really cool things and creating really cool memories. And by the way, this is really
sweet.
Sick back in here.
There's a vent right in front of us.
Yeah, this is really cool. So it's cool because we do usually have a good stream of incoming applicants, but it's hard to really know until people are out doing the thing, and I see the vents right here. You see them bubbling up here. Look at all of them.
Super cool.
That's
How
sick.
many do you think there are?
Well, there's like
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and then there's like three over here, and there's a couple small ones.
Your backyard is springs.
Yeah,
insane.
Like this house right here. Yeah,
with steps into the water. No pools
I'm
needed.
not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Yeah, this is a ideal scenario right here.
Oh yeah. There's one at the
they've got a little raised up there too, so hopefully they avoided some of the water damage. But
yeah, a lot of these are lifted.
Yeah.
But that you can kind of see the water line. Do you see it?
Yeah.
On the window, it's like the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably 4 feet. It's insane,
so
and its
crazy.
dock got lifted up out of the water.
That's so. Yeah, I see that.
Wow.
That's so crazy.
But yeah, no, it's insane. But yeah, the hiring stuff is always a bit. There's a bass.
Oh yeah.
The hiring stuff is always a bit, I don't know, difficult. It can be difficult and more so nerve-wracking, I think, because like I live in a different state, so I'm handing over the keys to some people that can really. It can be.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, and it can be dangerous. It can sometimes be like if there's wind, you got to be able to like, okay, this is safe to go out.
You got to make smart decisions. Yeah.
Watch the radar, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you're in charge of people's happiness, and like that's what your business is built on, and you don't necessarily want people to have a bad time.
Yeah. No bad times allowed.
Yeah, that's
Smiles
not allowed.
only.
Yeah.
But yeah, and finding those people, and we get really amazing people like Alexis and Taylor, and we have Ryan C now, and we've got Cammie, and we've had a bunch of. Quentin was my first like hired guy. He was awesome.
Yeah, Quentin got so many reviews. I remember.
Tyler Pangborn.
Yeah.
T-Pang is what we call him. He was awesome, and he's like hiked the Appalachian Trail, and
that's so cool.
He's just great. So we've had some really good, and Windsor. Man, I can't forget about Windsor.
Dude, he was a legend too.
Yes.
A lot of good stories about him. I've read over the years.
I've been to his parents' house, and we've been hanging out. We've done cookouts together, and
that's so cool.
He had like 3 Great Danes at one time. And then he was the reason we ended up getting a Great Dane.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, and a little farm. They had some like a llama, I think, and like it was just really cool.
Yeah, it is. That's kind of like a hidden gem of kind of what we do, is being able to build some of these relationships with the tour guides. And I know Tia just like had her, Keith has been around for 5 years, and you've had tour guides for multiple years, and Ashley's one of mine who just left at the beginning of this year, but she was around for like 4 or 5 years. Jacob's been around for 4 or 5 years for me. Megan's been like 3 years. So it's really fun to like get to know them more, get to understand what they like, what their interests are, and be able to not just speak to them as like an employee, but more like, hey, like we're friends, let's just have fun at this together. And like obviously there's a job that needs to get done, but like let's just make this fun. You know, like if
it doesn't have to be overcomplicated.
And like if the guide is having fun, that means the guests are having fun. And if the guests are having fun, that means we're having fun.
Exactly.
And so it's like, it's that simple. Like it's really that simple. If everyone can just have a good time, we're having a good time.
Exactly. And it's cool too to like be able to get to know them more like that, so that it's just like a natural progression. Like it becomes the, it becomes the, I don't even know, make it difficult for my friend, and vice versa, and whatnot. I had my manager who, actually it's his last day today, but Ryan Tomche, really good buddy of mine, who every time I'm in town, we hang out, we kind of text back and forth. We had a baby 2 weeks
You and
apart from
Ryan?
each other. Yeah. So
We had a
little
baby
son.
together.
No, not together, but separate. But 2 weeks before I had my daughter, he
that's
had
cool.
his son. Yeah.
So you guys are going through the same like kind of life moments together almost. That's
and
cool.
he helped me out too. It was his second child. So when I being in Tennessee, it's like all I wanted to do was just stay at home, you know, and like be with our daughter, Palmer. And so he kind of like cleaned up some messes that needed to be cleaned up, or just be just handle things, knowing how much change is going on in our lives.
Yep.
So, and our family doesn't live up there, so it became a little bit of, except Hunter, he lives in Tennessee with us. Yeah. Not with us, but near.
Why did you guys choose Tennessee? What was the decision, the biggest decision behind that?
Yeah, I think it was the mindset of, if we don't leave now, we never will.
Okay.
And then so Madison got a job at Middle Tennessee State University.
Yep.
And then that was like the reason we moved. That was like our excuse. And we also had my best friend Cody Quistad lived up there, and her best friend Natalie Bierman lived up there, went to Belmont. And so we were like, man,
there's some good friends up there.
Yeah. Now it's
time.
like, now it's a massive community that we have.
Dude, I feel like you have so many friends up there. That's so cool.
It's a part-time job, but it's the best part-time job.
Yeah, and it's cool because you still make the time to come down here. Obviously, you're here right now.
Yeah.
But I know you try to make it a point to get down, I feel like once or twice every month.
Yeah.
And I know that's not the shortest drive back and forth, but you definitely make it work, and it's cool. Dude, when you moved, I was like, okay, here
we go.
He said he was going to run the business from afar. Let's see how it goes, and you've done a good job at it, man. I can't knock you for that. So
yeah,
I know it's challenging.
It is at times, but I think we got it in a good spot, and I think the last few years has been just a bit difficult with all the change and in our personal lives with having a daughter, and then hurricanes here. I actually stayed for the second one this last time because 2 of my employees lost their homes. Yep. And it was one of those things where like I was buzzing down, but the mold got too bad for one of the houses, so just couldn't stay uninhabitable. And I just like to be here for our people, because without them, we don't have jobs either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think they see that too. Like, it's one thing I definitely notice is the tour guides. The tour guides know who's really on their side, and who's there for them, and you see it in the guides that are here, for years over years. Is like, because you did that and because you showed up, those people, want to come to work for you, and they know that you're a good guy, and it's a lot of effort to come back and forth, but it's pretty cool that you get to go see snow in the wintertime and then come down here if you want to,
which is kind of cool.
If you want to escape it.
Golf is not as possible up there. Yeah, which is my favorite pastime, but
we need to golf more. I know we always say that, but we definitely need to golf more. I think that's one thing we definitely connect on too, is like, dude, we both just love golf.
Oh yeah.
And
it's fun. Got some boys in it. We like the similar music.
Yeah.
I like to think that I'm a rapper, but I'm not. But
I don't know, dude. I've heard some things.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm nervous.
Did I meet you through the band? Is that?
Yeah, I remember.
I knew Uncle first.
It was their first music video.
Okay.
Yeah, and we all went to that.
Wait, where was
shed. That was in Ocala.
Yeah, that was
Orlando,
up in Ocala. Yeah. Dude, that's crazy. That's wow, that was a long time ago.
The longest time, dude.
And so, I guess I just randomly met you there, and then we became friends after that. I don't remember the path of like how we became friends, but we probably just kept seeing each other at
probably Uncle.
Yeah, through Uncle
Woodard,
and
probably.
Man, Josh and Uncle have like introduced me to so many good people over the years. It's pretty crazy when you think about it.
Same.
And I think it's just like, I don't know, your friend group, my friend group, like Tia's, Madison's, they're all just really good people. Like, at the end of the day, everyone is just so, like, just such good people. They'll show up for you if you need them. They're there for you if you need them.
Yeah.
And I think that's just, I don't know, that's just how, we got to know each other, is just through other friends of ours that are good people.
When each other's invited to the weddings, it's it's meant to be.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, it's cool, man. It's been a long
huge
time.
Turtle.
Oh, that's a big one.
He's a big boy.
I thought I just heard a manatee.
And some pelicans. Did you?
I thought I heard a.
You know, it is clearing up though.
I know.
I wonder how the drone may look after this. We might have to throw it up.
Yeah, this is Bird Island.
So this is the famous Bird Island.
Yep, there's tons of pelicans. Don't get too close. Little stinky,
little stink.
But no, it's really cool.
Yeah, this is this part of Kings Bay that we're in now, or like was this just considered Crystal River right here? What is this?
This is all Kings Bay.
Okay.
And then our launch is right there actually.
Yep.
So you can see our kayak sitting up.
Oh
yeah. Nice. But yeah, this is Kings Bay, and then 6 miles out is the river. It goes 6 miles out to the Gulf.
Gulf of America.
Of America, yes. The Gulf of America.
Newly changed name.
It's a very long paddle, so I would not encourage it. I'm just kidding. I totally would.
It's probably fun. Pretty cool. I've never done that full paddle, but I bet it's pretty.
It is sweet. There's also like Fort Island Gulf Beach, and we went out there. We got some content out there.
That's where we did the sunset. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was sweet, and still might be a thing, but
yeah, that is cool.
It's gorgeous out there.
So this is Bird Island, and then what is this island?
So this is I'm actually not sure the name. I've just known it as the house.
Is someone living here? Like
it could be. I don't know if anyone's living there. I don't even know if it's safe.
Well, I can imagine this got flooded pretty good.
Yeah, the windows are out. You can kind of see.
Oh yeah. It's
they're trying to sell it.
Dude, there was just 5 ducks right there. Where did they go? They all just went underwater. And
they're having a party.
They weren't cormorants. They were just normal ducks. But all 5 of them just went under. Look.
Oh, there it is.
That's not a cormorant.
Hey, bud.
Look.
No, these are like.
Where's
normal
the others?
Ducks.
3. Look.
Oh my gosh,
dude. What?
It's like whack-a-duck.
I don't think I've seen that before. 5.
5.
Dude, I don't think I've seen that before where just a normal duck will go underwater that long. And they all went under together, which is just kind of funny.
That's a great friend group right there.
That's like our friends groups in duck form right there.
Exactly.
But yeah, this island is cool. Dude, Crystal River is so cool because there's so many different things to see here.
And it's so many environments too.
It's like saltwater-ish, but freshwater, and then super clear spring water.
Yeah.
And mullet jumping everywhere, and then a random bass. And
if you go down the river towards the Gulf of America, you can see like boar and deer and all that just walking in the marshland.
Oh, wild Florida.
Yes. Yeah. And
we got some dachshunds over there. Couple wiener dogs hanging out. Yeah, dude, this is so pretty out here. And I think one thing that I see is, people do think that when you come out to Crystal River, it's just going to be like no houses and just beautiful spring everywhere you paddle. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just kind of a common misconception. There are a lot of houses out here. There are a lot of springs around here too, though, and there are some very beautiful springs, but I think people do expect, to some extent, like they're going to go out in the middle of nature right here.
That's the Chaz.
And the Chaz is that,
Yes.
The Chaz crushes it with that.
Oh my gosh, it's easily one of my favorite paddles in Florida. I've been on tons of different rivers, but I had a desire to get into the Chaz for, I think it took 3 years to get that locked down. And ever since, it's really cool because it is a lot more quiet and it is a lot more secluded, and it's known as Old Florida, so it's pretty untouched. Like when we launch from Seven Sisters Campground, we have to go through a little bit of a residential spot.
Yep.
And then it's like a 15-minute paddle, 20 minutes to get to. There's Seven Sisters right at the exit of that little residential canal.
Which is insane.
So cool. Yeah. Underwater caves. There's tons of really cool stuff, and then you can go to the crack, but there's only one house where, like, it was another kind of situation where the spring is right off the back.
Yeah.
But there's like 2 or 3 springs right off this massive, beautiful home, but it's all tucked away, and that's the only house. So
that's cool.
It is really
that
really
is
cool.
Definitely old wild Florida, and I feel like the Chaz is just Crystal River is a known name because it's literally the manatee capital. And the Chaz is like this hidden thing that I don't think people just know that even exists, And so we've talked about it a lot of times, like how do we educate people that like this is a thing, you know, like that it's here. And
besides just saying it's the coolest spot.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so sweet. Crystal River is great for manatees. I know it's like got residential canals, but I think it's also a great benefit to the area because you have a lot of, this is where the manatees come to be safe.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot of people who own houses on the water who kind of just keep an eye out to make sure there's no foolishness going on.
Yeah, no one's doing anything crazy.
Yeah.
Any manatee that needs help is like
Yeah.
quickly. We saw it this morning. There was a manatee kind of just floating, and they have I don't know. There was 3 or 4. What are they called? Workers that are just
Volunteers.
volunteers
Yeah,
that are
volunteers.
literally just out patrolling these waterways and like making sure everyone's doing what they should be doing, and it's a really cool area because of that.
And it keeps them like safe, and and we all kind of watch out for each other out here too. Like if you see someone out on a rental kayak who I've seen it before where they just hop out. We're in like a foot of water. I told you we could have walked to here.
That's crazy.
Wow. But
Is
yeah,
that what
like
this buoy's here for? I'm imagining maybe they're
that's the
blocking
channel
this
right
off.
there. Yeah, and then sometimes this will.
This was out of the water earlier. I saw birds on this earlier.
We've hopped out at this spot before.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
The tides are wild out here. We could go back in there and see where those people were, but yeah, it's really nice. I've seen somebody like a guest who just rented a kayak kind of hop out onto like a manatee or really close by it, and it's one of those moments where you're just like, okay, we gotta just report that and just make sure that that's not happening on a regular basis and educate people in a nice way. And sometimes it can be hard because people don't want to be educated, and you start saying something and people are very defensive right off the bat sometimes. But the good thing is if there's multiple people saying the same thing to that person, and if the companies that are renting the kayaks out here and doing the tours, if everyone's kind of on the same playing field of, hey, we need to just educate people on the best way to recreate around manatees, like it's going to be a big win for everyone. And Weeki Wachee has done a really, really good job of educating people, and I think it's the same out here. Like no one wants it to be ruined for everyone, and you need to make sure that people know what they're doing, especially around manatees. And I think like the Guardian Guides thing that we do with Save the Manatee Club is super important, so that even just educating our guests as they're out on a tour, so if they do come back the next time without us, they know what to do. It's it's definitely, there's not a lack of content out here or like learning material and things like that, and the city's really good with providing a lot of great information as well. And they actually created a video for all their tour operators and
that's cool
for their guests to see, and it's awesome. And we send that out in every email, every booking email, so our guests can watch that. And it's how to like safely operate around manatees. Used to be Manatee Manners. I'm not sure if it's still that same. But
and then Discover Crystal River is a big organization out here that obviously helps promote what you guys have going on too, which is really cool. And
it's really cool. It's like a big small town,
dude. Right? It is.
We all kind of like
it is.
There's a lot of companies out here and stuff like that, but it's mutual respect, I think, across the board. And kayakers, if we're kind of just staying to ourselves and the boats out here and we just respect each other, it's pretty seamless. It's really not that hard to get along and operate out here.
Have you done scalloping out here before?
Dude, funny story. I'm glad you asked.
I'm curious.
Yeah, my friend Kathleen back in the day, I don't know if you know Kathleen.
I think that sounds familiar. I feel like I've met her.
She's a redhead. Like she's got red hair. That's what redhead means, but whoops. But so she had jet skis, and so we were thinking that it would be the smartest thing of all time to actually launch from Pete's Pier and go scalloping. So we bought all the stuff you needed, dive flag, blah, blah, blah. We ended up getting out to the Gulf, and it got so choppy. There was like 4 to 6 foot waves we had to go.
In a jet ski? Oh,
dude,
no.
And I didn't realize how uncomfortable it would be
to
have a jet ski in the middle of the Gulf or whatever. And it was like, one, very terrifying. And we were kids too. Like, I don't even know if our parents would have been like cool with it. So it was like, okay, we're gonna turn around. And we turned around and just had a good time in the river. So,
that's so funny.
But I've never been. I have.
Besides that time.
Yeah, if I go on a boat, I would love to. I've wanted to so many times. And there's so many of our friends here. Like Izzy is with us, has been with us for many years. She goes out all the time, and I've been wanting to kind of hop on a boat with her, and and just the team. We've talked about doing scallop trips before.
That would be fun. That'd be a fun team outing, actually.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Windsor would do it all the time too, and one of our, I think, Chris Hamilton. He was one of my really great friends, but he's traveling the world. But he came back every season, and he would do stuff like that. He actually
there is a manatee up here.
Right there. Is there?
Yep. You see it? The top of it?
Oh yeah.
Just floating.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Come on.
So is there a spring back here? Do we know? I would imagine.
I'm sure there is. I don't know.
Oh, there's one
off the
close
top of
right
my
here
head.
too. He's coming up.
Yeah.
Ah, let's go. Heyo. Let's see if I get a video of him. Hi, buddy.
Oh, sleeping?
Yeah, he's just chilling.
Oh yeah.
He's not that big. Well, he is kind of big. I don't know. He's like a teen.
Sleeping.
Yeah, I think there's more back here too. It looks like the back of another one. He's literally just chilling.
Dude. Yeah, don't go near that.
Chilling.
He'll flip you.
He will.
And I don't mean that in like a bad way. They just get startled, so they flip their tail. They're not aggressively.
Flip you off.
Yeah, flip you off. That's an interesting blue and black house.
Yeah.
I like the wood though.
Yeah, me too. This is cool back in here. It's kind of like a little secret spot for the manatees.
Little oasis. It's cool too because you can. It takes like a few minutes to get to each.
There is a spring right here. You see this?
Yeah. This is sweet. Yeah, just asleep.
Just chilling, sleeping.
Well, we weren't sweating like 20 minutes ago.
Dude, I
am.
Yeah, I'm feeling some drips accumulating.
Yeah, taking a nap.
Dude, it's so funny. They almost get like algae buildup on them.
Oh yeah, they do. Some of them have barnacles.
The barnacles, yeah, dude. I love seeing them. I know that it's not the healthiest to have them on them, but they fall off anyways. But,
yeah, they do.
But it's just cool. Visually, it's cool to see barnacles growing on a moving thing.
Yes.
It like doesn't make sense in my head, kind of, because all I ever think of is like a pylon when barnacles are growing. But
yes,
it's pretty cool.
No, it's crazy. They've been out the ocean for a bit too.
Other turtle over there hanging out.
Oh yeah, one thing I will say that's really cool about working out here and like having this as a job, everywhere I go now, I spot everything. It's like I can't even stop scanning a room.
Yeah.
Or like not a room, but just an environment.
Yes.
I'm like, hey, look.
Yes. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. You don't realize, like, as a tour guide, you are always, I don't think, even probably on this video, you probably, like, now that I'm thinking about it, when I watch it back, my eyes are probably just everywhere because I'm just the same way. I'm just looking at everything.
Dude, it's absolutely insane.
I want to find things.
Yeah.
You know?
It's easy to do as well. Yeah, I'm trying to find the name of that spring. I feel like it's a bad thing that I should know it.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Not a very common.
There's what'd you say, 70 out here? More than 70?
Yeah, there's like tons.
Yeah, so like, yeah, you're gonna know all of them?
Yeah, I wish. One day.
And I feel like it's hard to, it's hard to know the name of it if one, you don't really come back this way too often.
Yeah.
And two, it's not like a beautiful springhead like the other ones are. They're known. You see this guy over to our right?
Dang, that's a big one.
I think that was the same one. I think it was the same one. And he woke up.
Oh, this guy is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legend. Legend. He's a legend. Hey guys.
Oh, that jacket. I want it.
Fly.
How y'all doing?
What's up, guys?
The jacket is insane. I love it. Yeah. Send me a link.
You got an affiliate link?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know that I'd be wearing a jacket out here.
Dude, I was just thinking that. We were just talking about sweating. Oh. And homeboy is wearing.
Yeah. I think it's like, it looks like a cashmere jacket. It looks like I don't even, not to sound mean, but it kind of looks like a tablecloth, which is probably not the most.
It looked like Tiger King.
Yes.
A Tiger King tablecloth.
Yes. It did have a tiger on the back.
It
might have been Tiger King himself.
It could have been out of jail and in the flesh. Are we good to go to the right here?
Yeah.
It looks like it might be shallow. I just wasn't sure.
We can definitely get over there. But yeah, no, there's tons of springs. And if you go to the opposite side of the bay, you have King Spring, which is massive.
Yeah.
Really sweet area. And that's the cool part about the different environments that Crystal River provides, I think, because like right here, you got Pete's Pier, which is a pretty active spot.
Yep.
But once you go, like instead of taking the left to go into Three Sisters under the bridge, if you could go straight, it's just so secluded. And we've actually used to launch from a hotel out there.
Yeah.
But the wind kind of
in the
hurt us
bay
quite
it
a
picks
bit.
up.
Yeah. But
yeah, it's so cool out here. Like there's so many side canals. We could literally spend a full day just paddling through all of these canals, you know.
Oh yeah.
And that's what's so cool about this area is no tour is the exact same ever, because the wildlife's always different, the conditions are always different.
Yeah, and sometimes you can be like, had so many moments where we couldn't even put our paddles in the water, so we sat in a pool of like manatees surrounding us for like 45 minutes.
I'm not mad at that.
No, and like nobody is. It's like it's amazing, but like that could bring us to one spot, but like
there goes the time is just spent there.
Yeah, and you get to, and they come up to your kayak and they'll kiss on it, and you can just
that's so
have
cool.
a heyday over there. And before they shut down Magnolia Springs for season as a manatee sanctuary, that was when it would like happen right before it gets cold. And but it's really cool.
Did that used to be closed? I feel like that didn't used to always be closed.
No, it's only during season. So they block off essentially that whole entire. You saw that canal that have horseshoes.
Yep.
It gets a little, depending on the tide though. It's funny. We've brought in tours back there and tried to make the horseshoe, and the tide, it makes the bridge only like a foot of clearance. So you kind of have to lay down in your kayak or just
kind of fun though.
Yeah.
A little adventure.
Yeah. That's when our seats break. So
it's a good time. Not these new seats.
Not these new ones. No way. No. I don't think I'll ever get in a kayak again without this.
I'm telling you, man.
I think we're going to make the full switch.
I'm telling you.
Over here in Crystal River and the Chaz.
It's so nice.
Yeah. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it turned out to be a nice day. This morning was definitely a little overcast.
Yes.
It's definitely cleared up. I think I might throw the drone up again, and we'll see if we can get some cool shots of Hunter Springs, and maybe I'll throw it over to Three Sisters from here. But
the colors are just nuts out here.
Yeah, once you get that perspective from above and you see the magnitude of the springs, like it's just so cool.
Yeah, and in off season too, we do the summer tours and we go into Three Sisters, and it is like, it honestly like heals your soul. I feel like, and there's a lot of like old history and stuff, also for like spring water and how it kind of heals you.
That's one of the big rock springs, and I don't know if this is where you got that from, but one of the big rock springs facts is that the natives used to live on on the water there, and whenever they would get sick, they would go in the spring water because they felt that it would heal them. And I don't know what it is.
I can almost see it.
Dude, every time I go into spring water and then get out afterwards, I feel so good.
Yeah, like renewed.
And
it's awesome.
Maybe that's like partially cold plunge because it is 70 degrees, but like I think there's something to it. There's something to it. Yeah.
It's so pure. I feel like you can't jump in a pool.
You will never really get in cleaner water than that because it literally just came out of the earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can get over them too in Three Sisters, and you can feel the water just pushing, like gushing through these springs. It's so wild. It's cool. It's such a sweet.
I love this spring in the summertime when you can swim in there, dude. It's especially like after you paddle for 20, 30 minutes getting over there, and you're like, okay, I'm a little warm. Cool. And then it's like, dude, just beautiful, and you're like, okay, we get to go in this now. Yes, yes, please.
And you can swim all the way down too. Had tons of people do that.
Yep.
And it's cool with the new shoreline restoration project they did. The erosion is not as bad, and obviously they've fixed a lot of the shoreline, but they've made it look just so beautiful in there, and protect it.
That's so cool.
Yep.
That's so cool. Man, what you've done out here is definitely impressive. Kudos to you. Thanks for all the hard work. Dude, it's been I can't believe how many years it's already been.
Make me
When I
feel
look
old.
back- dude, I know, me too. I'm just like, holy crap. You know, I think I started the business when I was like 24 and now I'm 33 and I'm just like, where has time gone?
Yeah.
It's just, it blows by. I think time moves faster when you own a business because there's no necessarily such things as like weekends and holidays.
Yes, no, you're always on.
And
That's for sure.
so I think like just time moves faster almost when you do own a business. But the cool thing is it also does give you some of that flexibility to live in a different state or go on a cool vacation or, you know, do some of these cool things that you've been able to do. And it's because of what you built here, and it's pretty cool, man. It's so, I don't know, it's like full circle, you know, kind of moment for me to see it in live time happening, and also remembering where everything was like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, you know, and it just being 2 locations and now 30, and it's just wild.
Dude,
it's
kudos
wild.
to you, bro,
It's
because
wild.
you've kept your head down and
been a
actually done
grind.
something insane and beautiful. And yeah, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be here right now. So
Let's
thank
go,
you.
dude. Let's go.
On a big things on the horizon. I feel like this year's feels different. I'm really excited, and
Yeah, you've been
all the-
already going hard this year, and I know you keep talking about how excited you are for the year. So I'm
Yep.
stoked to see what's going to happen out here this year. And
we'll see. We're gonna do a lot of fun things. I feel like we got a really good team, and I like to call them. I don't like to call them this, but like it's kind of like classes. Like as a teacher, you have like tons of students that come and go, and you get to see them like move on. Like our admin Brittany's been with us for like 4 years. She's incredible, but she's moving to the Netherlands, so we get to like we got to have all this beautiful time together, and now I get to see her go off
and do something.
do something really awesome. So
that's so cool.
And I love that. I love seeing like one of my guides, a lot of my guides are like, I just don't want to put you out or whatever. It's like, dude, I had an opportunity. I want to give you the same opportunity. Like I want you to succeed and do things you really like to do.
I'm the same way. I'm like, go
and
for it.
I know that you
Please,
are too.
go for it. Yeah.
I would not. That was one of the biggest things. You told me this one time, and I actually just told this to Madison the other day. I was like, man, Justin's really just come a long way, and it's been so awesome. And you said to me when we were just getting started, I think, was like, just the thought of a franchise opportunity was in the picture, and you had said, I just want to see my friends succeed. It's so evident that's all you really want, and I think that that's beautiful, and very much appreciated. Very massive blessing for me and my family. You play a huge role in it. So
likewise, dude. It's fun when you get to do it with friends, and that's why I want, you know, I'd rather do it with friends. Like if we can, let's do it with friends.
Yeah, if we're gonna do this for 7 years,
let's have some fun.
Let's have a good relationship, and and it's cool to work with your friends, man. It's so sweet.
It is. But thanks for showing us around, Austin. This was fun. Hopefully the audio worked, I don't know, and I'm glad that someone returned my dry bag because I had some nice things in there.
Yeah, you should probably put a 20 in there.
Dude, I know. But thanks for showing us around. Dude, I'm stoked to like come back when it's freezing cold here. And
yes, we just missed it too.
I know, like 2 weeks ago. I know.
Or a week.
But it's beautiful either way. Like,
no, it's
look
gorgeous.
at this, dude. You can't beat this. It's sick.
It's a completely different place when the sun's out.
Yeah, it is.
So,
all right, cool.
Sweet, man. Thank you so
signing
much,
off.
dude.
Yes, thank you.